The sun is shining, there's a bit of a breeze. It's a perfect day for speech frisbee.
We have two European standouts here.
We are moments away from the opening pull now.
Deep breaths before the madness begins.
Greatest attempt! Oh my goodness, layout to keep it alive! My brains are melting out of my ears! What is going on out there?
Women's division champions!
Gold medal winners here on the beach. European Beach Ultimate Club champions.
Thank you and enjoy the show.
It is finals day and we are underway in the gold medal matches starting in the women's division. EBUCC 2025 from the sands of Gdańsk, bringing you all the action right here on ulti.TV. JinX Midnight taking on Troubles from Warsaw. My name's Stefan Rapazzo. My pleasure to be alongside the wonderful Gigi Morrison to bring you the action here. Gigi, are you feeling hyped for this one at this stage?
I'm so hyped. We are seeing a bit of a rematch here. So we came across Troubles versus JinX earlier on in the tournament. It didn't really matter too much. It was more of a seeding game, a placement game to bring them into the pre-quarters, quarters, semis, and now the final. So it wasn't really consequential. The only thing that kind of mattered was, of course, pride, glory, getting more dubs on the board, and maybe just assessing how each other are going to be. And I did make the call. I wanted this to be the final, and we've been presented with what is going to be an incredible final. JinX did come out on top in that earlier matchup against Troubles, and we did see that the effect of the intensity of that game did actually bring some fatigue to Troubles later on, bringing them forward into the pre-quarters, but they managed to pull through, bring themselves to this final, and it's certainly going to be a phenomenal matchup.
It's said with frequency how hard it is to beat the same team twice in any given tournament. That will be the case for JinX, trying to repeat. I know there were some celebrations last night and can report that JinX were very much a part of those evening celebrations till the wee hours, so that may be one thing working against them. Paulina Lewandowska also unable to suit up for the game, so another lack of personnel. We'll see how these things have effect and if they may give that small advantage back to Troubles.
I don't believe that the Lewandowska absence is party related. I think that's just overworking the knee a bit on the beach.
Yes, good to note that very much. Cheblitschka with the disc, and we're underway here. Gold medal match. Made. And Made fires early in the sequence. That looks good, but it is just a bit too far. Popek had the legs churning as well as possible, but could not quite get there.
It almost felt like there was some wind resistance, the reversible tank blustering in the wind and causing a bit of a ballooning effect, making it quite tricky to catch up to that. But Popek really blasting and powering through the sand, just soaring past. She did get to it, but it's not quite enough.
First throw going the other way, and we've got a foul called. Huard goes to ground.
I already had it, but I couldn't grab it because the card was pushing me away.
Here's another look. And they'll continue to work it out. And it looks like it's going back to Anna Garnier, so a contested foul.
There was definitely some shoulder contact through the cut, but who initiated it, I'm personally uncertain of.
And another bid. Troubles are coming. And another conversation. There was some contact. Let's see how they work this one out. This time between Made and Banmula.
Track the call, so the turnover will stand phenomenal spirit.
Yeah, I love that spirit. I did think that was a great bid, sure. Yes, there was some grazing body contact, but I thought it was moving in the same direction as the intended receiver and not egregious and not really pushing off the line of attack. Trzebliczka picks up. Made initiates with an upline cut, but can't be hit. Trzebliczka centers. Upline, Popek, no, that is Ładorzewska, and it's turned over on the ensuing throw. Garnier. Hood. And all the way around, I think it was perceived to be missed by Bahnmüller, but the backup plan was in place, and that was Pichunga. Another turn on the next throw, and opening point jitters here. We're 3 minutes in, a handful of turns. That's 4 of them, and troubles will start once more. Trzebliczka fires, and that one's off target.
Our 5th turnover with our 7th pass.
I can't do that math. Too many fractions.
Somebody else can do it for us.
There we go. Mula, another one straight back. Made gets it. Attacking ends. Trzebliczka can't access the open Popek in the corner because of the mark of the traffic, but does get the upline. That to Made, and Troubles manage a hold 6 turnovers later.
It's taken a little bit of some ironing out some kinks to get them warmed up into this game this morning. Maybe some sleepy decisions having been made, a fair few turnovers from that first point. But the composure from Trzebliczka saw the cut that she wanted going through the front of the end zone from Made. Phenomenal credit to Troubles for working so hard, getting the grit and determination to convert there.
Let's see what JinX can do. I think we noted time and time again yesterday the connection between Priyan and Walczak that has been so effective for them. Not taking away from the other 3 on the line there, but certainly 2 to watch. Both of them right up at the top of the scoring sheet in the division.
Yeah, the stats don't lie. Of course, again, as you mentioned, not to take away from any of the other athletes on this line, on JinX, because they are able to feed the discs to Baltic Suprian to make sure that they are able to get those stats. They are just the ones that are represented in quantitative form.
The number 2 and 4 scorers in the competition, and this time it's Kazic feeding the huck to Priyan, and they're on the board with a bit more efficiency.
It felt like Ivic just resonated with what we heard, with what we were saying, heard that and thought, you know what? I'm going to prove you wrong. Well, actually, we didn't really say anything broadly incorrectly, but Givic getting a stat on the board, first assist, simple 1 throw, clean offense.
Nikki Priyan using the speed and athleticism that she's been known for years to get that deep separation and then get up, 2 hands on it, safe as houses.
The stands are starting to fill up. A lot of the athletes are finishing their games, so wanting to chill out, watch the rest of the finals. So this is the first of 3 finals.
And I do believe by now all other games are over, so that it will only fill up more and more as this game and these games go. That one too low. Garnier and Made have some contact going to ground, and they're going to discuss the potential of a foul here. I thought the throw was too low regardless, but let's see how they work this one out. Here's another look. Thoughts on it, Gigi?
I think there was some contact before Made had an opportunity to make the bid, and it did inhibit the bid, but it has been, well, it's contested, so it's gone back to the original thrower.
Anna just bids on the next incoming receiver. And high, Made takes it. Made winding up the forehand on a few occasions. Trzebliczka sends deep. Backing up, a little backpedal, and Banmuller does enough to stay in the way, but as such, no eyes on the disc, kind of ran into the intended receiver and caused a foul, and that looks to be accepted.
I don't think Banmuller intended to chest bump the receiver, but that's certainly what happened. The accepted foul going to be coming in from the front end zone line because the disc wasn't caught. If it was a strip, that would have been considered a goal.
Roshinska with the disc, isolates and overshoots. And almost a layout from a spectator, almost a layout reception.
I think she wanted to get the disc zipped into the hands of the receiver as quickly as possible, but the pressure of having two defenders in that lane, maybe a slight overshoot upwards, so a more vertical direction, caused it to fly over the top of any potential receivers.
So a break chance now for JinX Midnight as Malena Mula struts to the line. Mula with a whole sequence of shoulder shimmies ends up with a bump and calls the foul.
The force from Wadoszewska getting in Mula's face.
Mula with the release, great catch to keep that one alive. Pichugina, and then she pitches full field, but too far in front of Banmula for a play.
It was definitely the right option. The cut was there, it had the perfect shape. The throw itself was almost the perfect shape. Firstly, it's a round flick, under pressure, fantastic. And the catch itself, to go with the confidence to just stand up and release again. I think it was just a little too much mustard on it. Also, the wind is starting to push in that direction, so it caused it to sail a bit further than anticipated.
First throw too low, looking for Made, and Mula rushes to it, sees Anna Gerner. That was the hope, but it's Banmula who fills into the corner, and JinX Midnight break very early in the game.
The connection to Banmula is eventually found. And yes, their first break, there must be a little bit of relief from that. I don't know about you, Steph, but seeing Troubles play today, I feel a different kind of energy coming off of them. They've got another level of grit and bite behind them, and it will pay dividends later on in this game because this is going to be a close one.
Yeah, I believe the same. They are hungry for it. It's a shame that they have succumbed to a break early. A tough place to be playing from behind against a class outfit like JinX. But I do believe you're right. They're going to get a bit of hometown cheer behind them. That sixth woman on the pitch coming from the stands. But they're going to need to draw on that energy early now, being in a deficit with the break against.
And if you're watching from home, so on the ulti.TV YouTube channel, please do let us know. Leave a comment in the chat. We love hearing from you. I'll try to respond to you. If you have any questions, if you have anything that you want to shout out, let us know where you're from. Also, like, subscribe, follow whilst you're there, become a member. The London invite coming up next week, and that's going to be an absolute scorcher.
We got so much hot ultimate this time of the season. It is just incredible stuff. The dump, give and go, and sent deep, but it's not going to make it. The throw a little bit short, out of hand from Banbula Dida, and now it's JinX trying to go the other way. Volchak winds up and sends it, and Anik had a chance coming back at it, but it would have been an incredible catch. Zachkovska goes and gets Vidrovska. Now Banbula Dida and Zachkovska. Zachkovska sends deep. It's hanging back of the end zone, coming. There was a toe drag opportunity, but denied by both the line and the defense.
I love that most of the turns are being generated as a result of intense pressure or just sheer blocks. It's not just a case of oh, the wind's playing some tricks. Oh, people are having a lapse of concentration. Because that does happen, and it's very easy to happen, particularly in some tricky conditions like this wind, which is quite swirly. But we're seeing bids everywhere. People are fighting for this. And it's really great to see that even though these two teams came up against each other in what was quite a close game and really intense then still, they're not letting up at all. Neither side are.
Givich throws very high and as such taken away. Two defenders, Vidroska gets the eventual smackdown. BULA Dida on the pickup. And the under comes charging through. Zajączkowska to BULA Dida, but too far. Volchak is there to help knock it away. Volchak to Givich. And back to Levka Volchak. Volchak turns and kind of misses Givich, looking for Priyan, and ended up throwing kind of between the two. And this is a deadly spot for Troubles to pick up and potentially find their hold. Zakowska from the goal line now engages the dump. BULA Dida gets and led too far. Once again, Zachkovska bids, but the throw gave very little opportunity.
Yeah, we are seeing some throwing errors, but it's not just as a result of people throwing the wrong things. These are the correct options. And the defense on both sides is compounding the pressure even more. So it makes these it makes the thrower hesitate an extra second. And when you hesitate, you're going to make a mistake at some point.
Levka Volchak on the chase, throws the body, but somewhat knowing that that disc wasn't going to be in hand by the time she hit. And Troubles will take their very sweet time to get to this disc. BULA Dida will pick it up with eventuality.
Yeah, the fatigue setting in at this point. We've had 8 turnovers and only 10 throws between both sides.
BULA Dida has it checked in. Wanted the immediate round. Zachkovska with a bump and good looking throw to split the defense and cut the field. Vidrovska back to BULA Dida and finds space in the middle. Krull. BULA Dida wants to keep moving and gets it right back to Krull. BULA Dida near sideline, entering the red zone. Looking for a seam, crosses the field. Krull. And the handling space required to do the heavy lifting right now. Zachkovska had an incredible game in that matchup that these two played yesterday. And there, the error hits off the shins. A giveaway. Zajączkowska couldn't handle it. As you look at the pass total here, 18-3. JinX are picking it up and putting it.
We've had an injury call. Just a quick trade. There's Vidrovska, I believe, coming off, and Garnier has also stepped on.
Happy to see the reciprocating substitution by Troubles. They've brought in Grajewska. And this one will be picked up, and Anna Garnier is going to come off the sideline straight to the pickup.
You're having a line of Garnier, Priyan, Volchak, Givich, and Anik. Powerful, powerful line.
And Garnier winds up the backhand as soon as she saw Priyan go. Zachkovska denies, gets in front and knocks it away.
It puts JinX in a much better position. They're not stuck on that end zone corner. So seeing the cut from Priyan, Garnier doesn't hesitate, but the closing speed of the defense flips the hat back into position, ready to play.
BULA Dida with the pickup responsibilities. Center Zachkovska asking too much. That throw out and beyond. Garnier quick to pick up and go the other way. Garnier. Anik, and now Volchak hits Priyan, and JinX do manage a second break in a row, 3 points in a row to take it to 3-1.
Wasn't easy. It wasn't easy for either side. My goodness, there were quite a few turns there. There was 11 total turnovers and 24 passes. And most of the passes having come from Troubles as opposed to JinX. I think that was in part because part of the way through that point, JinX switched up their defense. They were really sagging and poaching into the lane, leaving the backspace, the handlers, widely available, so that those dishes, those pop passes, they were having to make more throws. And the more throws you make, the more likely you are to make a mistake. That's exactly what happened. And then with the substitution of the injury, Anagana stepping on, fresh of energy, fresh beans, saw the site, was like, nah, I'm going to get rid of this. So Priyan going deep, had that option. Were able to generate a turn again after Priyan wasn't able to get to the disc, gave them the short field, and now another break.
A lot of firepower on both JinX lines, and certainly when they get a crossover like that, it really feels exceptionally strong. That chase was felt, but Made does a great job to retain possession on the second effort. And the ensuing throw gets away, and JinX, we're going to get another possession. Quick to pick up is Banmula. Garnier to Mula. Straight back to Anna Garnier. Garnier splits, but hits Banmula, and she's unable to hang on.
Banmula going for the snappy fingers as opposed to the clap catch. Sitting a bit lower down. That's not an easy catch to make when you're going for the little crabby hands.
Yeah, the crab hands are ill-advised often, but it's Troubles' second chance to hold here. Popek hits the sand and back on the feet. There's an opening at the back of the end zone, floating and taken, not by the intended receiver, but Wadoszewska comes out of nowhere and ends up with a goal on her hand.
When the disc sits in the wind like that, you've got to have people backing up the disc, and Wadoszewska is the epitome of backup. That is exactly why you need more people to flood through into the end zone to help out. Not a clean hold for Troubles. They were staring in the face of another hold, but thankfully after the save from Popek, this disc floating, flying over the top. 2 receivers, 1 defender, not a problem for Wadoszewska.
Great bit of play. Swarm when it hangs is some of the talk our team I used to be on would initiate. You know, if that thing's hanging, leave your assignment and help out by all means necessary. And in that case, it cashes in for a goal. We are 20 minutes into the game. Some long points in this one so far. Did the wind just pick up from behind us?
It feels like it did, and it also looks like it's changed direction looking at the angle of the flags. It was going roughly from right to left, but now it's kind of going across towards the grandstand from us to the grandstand. This is what we mean by the swirly wind. It's really unpredictable.
Priyan to Volchak, connect again. Volchak leads forward. Bid comes, what a cow crown stripped there. That one hurts. Pyure Sayanin was in the booth with you yesterday, GG. There she is laying out in the final and just misses the collection.
Yeah, Elisa Portiainen, originally from Finland, now with JinX Midnight. Had a pretty nice time in the booth yesterday. Just a little bit nervous, but did a phenomenal job.
Wonderful to hear. Zakchovska rather goes to Banbula Dida. Zakchovska with a tight mark from Priyan still finds space. Vidrovska leads Banbula Dida. Nice catch, winds up, sends deep. Made is there and open. And that is a big one. The first break for Troubles, ties things up 3 apiece.
You can hear the crowd erupt. There's lots of Polish fans that are dotted around in the grandstand, trying to show their support for Troubles. And yeah, what an important break that was. This throw from Walczak for Porcianen. So close, just the ground strip. Maybe not even like fully maintaining possession, but just kind of clasped gently within the fingertips. And this sequence of break throws down this line, again, it's not easy. This wind direction has changed slightly. It's not really that predictable. So being able to step around the force with such precision, the cut from Madej, the confidence to catch that, reading it in, full concentration. Great work.
We're all tied up. JinX do have an extra break. They will start the second half on offense, so that advantage still exists. Walczak crosses over to this line, and Garnier goes upfield to BULA. Mula gives the backhand, looking for Walczak. Czeblitska in the way, no second effort, macked to the ground.
Czeblitska was anticipating that. Again, seeing Walczak going deep towards the end zone. Walczak only has eyes for one thing, and if the thrower sees Walczak in the end zone, they're going to throw that. So the heads-up D from Czeblitska to be able to smack that away before Walczak can actually pace towards it, and Walczak is speedy.
Oh, yeah. It's just eyes to the disc early. Great heads-up play by Czeblitska. Will this throw hold up? Not with Anna Garnier in the area. Garnier takes it away. Garnier has Walczak all alone. She can take her time on the floater. Walczak leads. Garnier the intent, but over the head. And Troubles will pick up again.
It was definitely the right option, the right throw, the right weighting on it. Something in the gust just picks it up. And trying to generate any sort of power in this sand is so difficult.
Nice pickup off the ground there, or just before the ground by Popek. Trying to free up Czeblitska. Didn't like it. Gets a layout, but a stall count. Infraction indicated by Garnier. No contest, and that will be a change of possession. JinX to pick up. Muller will strut to the disc. Malena Mula goes to Mula. 2 hands above the head. We've got a whistle, which must be the halftime indication. Thanks, Benji, for confirmation. Mula fires and hits. Hura in the back of the end zone. And a bit of crisis averted there. I think had Troubles put another one on, and that pressure would have firmly shifted to JinX, but they've avoided.
So halftime will be at 5. So first to 5. We might get a Galaxy point. It's not out of the question at all, but yeah, you can sense the sigh of relief from JinX's end, able to work that in eventually. Honestly, the difference in this game compared to the previous matchup that we've seen, the previous matchup was only a 2-point difference. It was 11-9 in JinX's favor, and it was close. Troubles were exhausted afterward. They were absolutely gassed. Not to say that JinX weren't either, but you could see that in future games when they were playing. There seems to be some other gear from both sides. JinX are having to blend some of their lines together in order to overcome the immense pressure that Troubles are putting on today. And honestly, it's so much fun to watch, particularly because we don't have to play. We just get to be the spectators on the side, just with microphones.
We're just calling it. All the pressure's on them. We love trying to, impart how the way we feel it. Ooh, big catch by Jana Senicic. Zakchowska, Senicic again. BULA Dida, all sorts of bodies colliding here. Shot for goal, too far for the mid from Kroll.
Multiple flying bodies. The disc sat a bit lower than I think they wanted to. Oh my God, Senicic with that secondary backup disc to the chest. And this one does rise, but also falls just too quickly. Floats outside the end zone, Plien knowing that she doesn't have to make a bid for that at all to secure the D.
Givich from the corner just puts it up, and somehow Volchak gets the read on it. Squirrels under the defenders, fires deep. Prien, the target, back of the end zone. Did she toe it? I think so, given what a play. Nikki Prien taking half 5-3 with some toe drag swag.
And Valchuk walking over to the end zone with hands in the air in applause for her teammate on the reception of that disc. The way in which that Valchuk was winding up for that backhand is in the slight upwind direction. It was with so much power, the torque, the leverage that she used to get it. You can see there, I thought it was almost going to be too much. And it kind of almost was too much, but when you've got a receiver like Plien, you know that you can secure yourself the possession, this goal, with so much power. Oh.
Nikki Prien, time and time again, making plays. She's won an European Beach Ultimate Championship before. With Seagulls, the game-winning catch, a layout with layout defense on her in the corner. She knows how to stand up in the big clutch moments. We can say that much.
So far with 3 goals in this game.
Nikki, of course, will be there next week at London Invite playing for the German World Games team. I believe this is her 3rd time representing World Games. Certainly at least the 2nd. She was in...
That's insane.
Yeah. It's at the top, highest level of the game for so long. Bump hits Garnier. She just smiles and shakes it off. Reception again from Volchak. Volchak dances, nothing open immediately. Great defense by Chablichka, must be said. And by the entire Troubles D-line, Garnier just had to throw into the stack there with little other option. Zakchovska gets an open look. That one finds Waruszewska. Led forward once again, Made. Gives the backhand fake and gets Volchak to jump. Wide open is Zakchovska from Chablichka. Chablichka again. And something called in the end zone.
It looks like a foul. There was some sort of collision between 2 of the players there.
Tapped in, Chablichka. Eyes upfield, Made comes under. Made. Waruszewska. And Zakchovska. They remain in the backfield. Now a shot forward, but not to get there. Made was the intended target.
The option, spot on. The choice of throw, spot on. So difficult to execute. You're in the upwind direction. You're pinned on the sideline. You've got intense force. That's not an easy throw to make.
Anna Garnier. And she turns, gets around the mark with a beautiful forehand hug. Banmula goes straight back to Volchak. One isolated, but instead, goes into the flank. Had Pichugina, and her ensuing throw hits the sand in front as Banmula now calls an injury. Lots happened there.
Yeah, hopefully Banmula is okay. I think that throw was some sort of lapse of concentration there, just misinterpreting and misreading where Banmula was. something in the shoulders, maybe from landing in the sand, being quite painful. The sand is dense. It's really soft, but it's dense.
Has been said time and time again from players throughout this tournament as Trzeblitska, she comes to the line, hucks it out, never in, and that is a tough prospect as JinX will bring it in right on the line.
Thankfully, the spectators in the stand were there because they were able to stop it from going right over the top of the grandstand.
So Garnier will pick up on the goal line. Priyan charges. Garnier goes around and gets Priyan not in the end zone, but Volchak fills the space, and JinX are charging. That makes it 6-3, and they are starting to flex here in the final.
Flex, but not without resistance. It's been hard. It's been so difficult. There's 2 breaks in a row. But as you can see from this end zone offense here, everything has been contested for. That wasn't the first option, that wasn't even the second option. That was maybe the 3rd, 4th, or 5th option to take that bladey forehand around the front end zone line to Priyan. And then Priyan able to dish it into Volchak, securing some more double stats between the two.
So 33 minutes into the game. And as Gigi mentioned, they are working hard for it. I said they're flexing, but with 3 in a row now, the pull ahead is substantial. After Troubles got their first break, JinX have got all the bounces to go their way. Despite the hard slog by Troubles, they cannot keep JinX out of the end zone.
Priyan and Volchak are staying on. They've got the additions of Gievich, Persianen, and Anik.
Trzeblitska, nice break throw under the mark arm. Finds Vidrovska. Trzeblitska motions the backhand forward. Nowakovska. Trzeblitska, and it floated just a bit too much. A slap in the sand. Gievich credited for the D.
Trzeblitska's been all over the pitch every time Troubles have been on offense.
Bangs one deep. No. Yes! Goodness gracious. Volchak puts it into 5th gear. And has she called the timeout immediately after? Indeed, she has. Wow, what improbability. And she managed to come up with it.
That wasn't a no full stop. That was a no question mark. No, yes. Got to make sure. Again, like, it's... I keep talking about the wind, but it's teasing us. It's making the disc just soar in ways that you can't really predict. I don't think Livka Volchak was able to actually fully predict that she was going to get there herself, other than just sheer confidence and grit.
Well, there's no lacking of confidence with Livka, and JinX seem to have encapsulated the same. While they talk about it, we'll take a break. We'll be back with more action from Gdańsk. Six, 3 as we get a look at the canines on the beach. Volchak is going to start after this timeout about 2 meters out of the end zone. Here's the tap in. Volchak wants to really jam it into the corner. Foul called. Vidroska accepts from Priyan. Great hand signals. Volchak still. Givich makes a nice play. Surveying options, fires off one set of hands and then to the ground. Troubles. Get out of trouble there, and Chablichka brings it to the line. Fired forward. That one to Popek. Vidrovska. And troubles are nearing the midway point already. High stall count. Vidrovska sends it. Popek is there. Good chance to score. Chablichka goes to Vidrovska and needed to alter her balance just a bit, but does, and collects a score to bring it back within 2.
Vidrovska stems the bleeding. Definitely the highlight player from that point, particularly that possession. Just able to get Troubles out of jail pretty quickly. That throw through the high stall count throw across the pitch, I think is what saved them and gave them the proper pitch position across to Popek. And then Chablitska still had eyes for Vidrovska. Vidrovska sinking into the sand with a casual catch. Bring them within 2.
Work to do, but, you know, stemming the flow is step 1. Now, can they put their defense on the field? Shout out to the JinX coaching unit here. Liebert and Melaga, regular players. I think Liebert's on her way back from an old injury, but still said it was always the plan to be the coach here. And they're doing a great job as Anna catches that one off her face. From the bobble, of course. High, floaty one, and well received. Pitrugina makes sure of it and goes back to Garnier. Garnier fires Pitrugina. Turns, and that throw imperfect. Zakchovska capitalizes. Senicic. No options. Zakchovska gives a release valve. Tight marks. This one's got some opening to Senicic. She fakes the backhand and waits. Zakchovska charges a double move and then a triple popped over confidently. Senicic gets again. She's getting separation. Backhand and close down the lane. The throw a bit too far in front. JinX will play again.
And Kroll taking her time to stand up. Thankfully, seems to be okay. And Miller going for the quick pickup.
Garnier fires deep. Pitruga on the chase. Pitrugina rather, and it's too far in front. And Troubles with a lot of hands on haunches will eventually take over.
Again, I think it was the right option, the right throw. It's too many beans. Breakfast is kicked in. I don't think either team is I don't think either team is mad at taking their time.
No rush to put it back into possession. But we're there now. Zachkovska fires, great play made there. Zayankovska. So Zachkovska led forward but bounces off the hands of Krull. Mula races to pick it up. Anna Garnier open in the middle of the backfield. Garnier waiting for a move from Mula, gets the up line. Mula fires, looking for Huard, and a little bit of traffic takes it away. Are they going to chat? The crowd will surely not like it. Zayantshovska was there.
Because I'm not sure. I just jumped like blind. You catch it and then I lost balance. So you're sure? What kind of person? I mean, I think so. Yes.
Zayantshovska happy to let whoever make the call the way she felt it, if she was sure.
Yeah, that's the kind of level-headed conversation that we like. Yeah, the crowd, I don't think the crowd would have liked it if it went in Jinx's favor regardless.
Yeah, no foul calls a crowd generally will like at all, as Garnier plays behind the disc. Huard squeezes it into Garnier, and Garnier motions for the backhand, resets. Bat dump space, Ban Mula. Ban Mula finds a seam, and Mula is at the other end of it. Big goal for Jinx. That makes it 7-4.
Patience on the front end zone line, particularly from Garnier. There were a fair few options that I think maybe earlier on in the game they would have taken on, but knowing how much pressure Troubles is being able to apply on the defense in that end zone space in particular, they're not taking any chances whatsoever. So taking the safe reset in Ban Mula, but Ban Mula actually taking on the riskier option in the backhand break, and it works out in their favor. Mula collecting a score for Jinx. Hold, not a clean hold by any means, but a hold nonetheless.
Our time is getting very close here, Gigi.
Yeah, just over a minute left.
So it will be a game to 8 or 9 in all likelihood here.
Unless Troubles are able to work really quite quickly. Oh no.
Jinx.
Yeah.
And really, really. But it's Volchak sending the pull. Made backpedaling, and what a pull. What a pull.
I was just thinking it would take a Callahan for them to score that quickly.
They're still playing with the disc in the Troubles end zone. Made has to retreat from the dump option. Nothing really availing, and that one thrown away. There was contact, and they'll discuss how that affected Popek and Volchak upfield.
It's coming from there, you're on that side, and you're trying to cross here. Right? So that's why you are going into me. I'm on this side. With the power to the But it's really, the disc is coming from there, and you are coming from the other side. So this is not your path. And also,
Volchak.
Nikki, what did you say?
We were saying that neither of you had a chance on the disc. And then both of the disc was just
I don't agree. I feel like we pushed her.
The 3 whistles have gone off to signal that there should be a resolution at this point.
All sorts of perspectives there. There are many differing opinions, but a foul contest seems to be the results, as indicated.
Yeah, we come to that resolution now. Volchak retrieving the disc to be sent back to the original thrower in Hrublitska. Was it Hrublitska? What was it?
Made.
Made, that was it.
Now, where will that stall count be? Because it was getting up there.
And a maximum 6.
Made gets the under. Maruszewska to Trzeblitska. Trzeblitska up and fires the chase. Oh, goodness. Closer than I would have imagined, but still just a bit too far beyond.
Podgorska turning on the jets. Honestly, centimeters away. Again, this just teasing us, thinking, I'm gonna let you get to it. Come on. Yeah, it sits for a lot longer than I think anyone really thought it would.
It's not fun to tease like that, Gigi.
I'm not doing it.
It's the disc we'll blame. Anik looking for Volchak and a reasonably short field now for Troubles. Chablitska picks up and takes the immediate timeout. They want to catch their breath out there. This one very important as time has expired. After this point, we're going to add one and be playing to a points cap. We'll take one last break here and be back with the tail end of the gold medal match in the women's division.
We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
What a grab! Oh my! Somehow they do it!
Here we go. This year, London Invite is bigger than ever, with 8 teams in the Open division, 8 teams in the Women's division, and for the first time, a full 8-team mixed division.
With 5 World Games teams, USA, Canada, Australia, Germany, France.
As well as the Tokai Super Team, is sure to be the ultimate showcase of the best in the world.
More teams, more streams, more stars, more ultimate.
More excitement.
You're not going to want to miss London Invite 2025.
7-4. JinX ahead of Troubles. Troubles with a chance to score here after a turnover. Chablitska took the timeout. Look at that grandstand.
Yeah, certainly full of some very excited people, vast majority of them in support of Troubles. Naturally, this being Poland, you'd probably have a Polish majority crowd.
Makes perfect sense to me. Chablitska and Troubles set up in a vertical stack. Made in the flank and JinX take their appropriating positions. Up line, that one works. Hits to Popek. Popek goes to the other side with the blade, and it should have been. It was off the hand of Waruszewska and unfortunately goes to ground.
You could smell the goal there for Troubles. Waruszewska had fingertips across it. Maybe some sort of pressure behind was the drop.
Volchak lucky to get that backhand under the bidding mark of Chablitska. Anik to Givic. Givic bombs it, and the chase will not make it. Both Priyan and Volchak going for a run, neither able to make it.
Yeah, both looking at each other in acceptance of, yeah, that was a bit far, wasn't it? Again, both sides taking their time to get set up. This is exhausting. We're already about 5 minutes over the soft cap. We haven't even reached the plus 1 point.
Have not. 50 minutes into the game. Chablitska will pick up again with the full field in front of her. Made. Popek. Sorry, Waruszewska. Then into the middle.
There seems to be a travel call on the throw from Waruszewska.
Had sought Podgorska, but it will come back. Waruszewska leads and Priyan takes it away.
Priyan saw the path, saw the bid, took it on. Success. Disc is now sitting at about halfway. That's not a given at all. Givic picking up.
Back to Anik. Tries to get around, good mark. Reaction, finds Volchak. Volchak bombs deep, Priyan the target, and another great D Chiblitska somehow gets the hand on it. She did fall into Priyan after getting a hand. Let's see how this one resolves itself. Oh,
yeah.
Heavy impact. Mostly, I hope Chiblitska's okay.
She's able to get up of her own accord, thankfully. Taking the injury sub, though. Yeah, back, neck, head injuries are honestly nothing to joke about. They are very, very serious injuries. JinX also taking a sub. Persianen being subbed on for Ghana.
And Zachkovska takes the place of Chiblitska. Classy no call there. I think Priyan may have had good right to call the foul, but it was after the play, and I do like the no call there. What a play, though, by Chiblitska. That is what you call putting the body on the line.
Probably a bit too much.
Made. Swiping at options, then shooting for the deep option. Popek and Garnier did just enough to ensure the miss. Givich to Garnier. Garnier fires, looking for Volchak. Lays out just to make sure about it. Potentially a little bit gratuitous.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether that was to genuinely get a better position to catch the disc in, or whether that was just for her own elation. Curl herself up into a ball like a little woodlouse and wrap herself around the disc. A lot of smiles from that. That does mean that we are going to have a game to 9 trebles. A big separation here in the points margin. That was a break from JinX. But again, not clean at all. Fair few turnovers from either side. This D from Ghana, I didn't realize she actually did get a slight fingertip touch to it. I thought it was more of the mental pressure behind.
And the throw from Garnier too. Goodness, Anna Garnier just balling out there.
Honestly, she has been the quite literal game changer here. She's staying on this next point.
Banbula Dida waits for that first throw. Zachkovska on the goal line. Kicks out to the side. Banbula Dida fires. Vidroshka, the recipient, and was looking to move it quickly. Slows down just a bit. Banbula Dida comes in. Zachkovska, goal line, and shoots. Vidroshka. We're going to play one more point at least. It's 8-5 now.
Is this the start of the comeback train? Can you hear the little choo-choo in the background?
I might start hearing it with a break next. If they get one more, then I'll start thinking about the train. But they really got to follow that up now. They got to get a strong D-line out there, prevent the JinX score, extend the game. We all know at the end of the game, if you can prevent the win once, that seed of doubt I bring up more often than not, if you can plant it, that can grow really quick and take these teams off their game, deflate confidence. But they got to get this break. They got to get a break right now, and it's going to be a very difficult task with how well this JinX O-line has been playing.
And whether either side is going to be supplying a power line or not, I'm unsure. We do still have Barushevska on. Zachkovska as well.
We have not seen Chiblitska retake the field, but I do see her up on her feet on the far sideline. So that in itself, good news.
And the grandstand save the disc again. They do.
2-0 grandstand.
The grandstand is the wheel runner in this game.
Have a look at that beautiful grandstand. All the punters having fun out there. Givich to the brick mark. This for the game. Anik on the disc. Leans in, then goes around with the backhand. Volchak looks, fires for Priyan. Priyan is there, and for the second time, cashes in the game-winning point for a European Beach Ultimate Club Championship point. JinX are crowned continental champs.
It might have taken the entirety of the game, but that throw from Baltic to Priyan, that connection finally is on the money. Honestly, I have to give such oh my god, I can't get my words. Such solid, strong commiserations to Troubles for the attitude that they brought into this game. It was palpable, the difference in energy, and I think you could see that in the way that JinX also played. They were spooked throughout this entire game. Nothing was easy, everything was so contested for. And whilst, yes, the elements did play their part, that was, again, just intensified by Troubles' defense here.
Yeah, right till the bitter end, I don't think JinX really felt comfortable with the small lead they had. Troubles were fighting so hard. Zachakovska, again, a great game, as was the case in the last one. Big shout out to Chablichka. Had a great game, but throwing the body on the line there for that D. Glad to see her back up on her feet. Commiserations, but a silver medal is nothing to hang your head at. Big congratulations on that silver medal. And, of course, to JinX. They were just a stellar roster, top to bottom. It was not easy. This team did it all, kind of. They really took in the tournament spirit. They've been out having fun. They've been spreading vibes, and they have been unblemished in the tournament. Wins from day one right through to the final game. Very deserved champions, these women from Berlin. With that, and with the next game coming up soon, we are going to get out of here. Mixed division up next. Don't you go anywhere. For the ulti.TV crew, for Gigi Morrison, I've been Stefan Rapazzo. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.
Thank you. Thanks.
Merci beaucoup.
ulti.TV.